YouTube, and welcome to what are we doing? The FPL Lock-In, the stream where every Saturday night when there's football, Premier League football on, we are here to react to the game week, and it's been a bit of a lively one, would you say, lads? I'll come to how you both are feeling. I mean, Darius, first of all, you of course are on bench boost. How did that go, mate? I've entitled the video 4 points on bench boost. You must be feeling a little bit down.
Not really, actually. The more I've actually looked at the post the Arsenal game, I mean, look, you might as well just consider myself not playing bench boost. I'm on a massive green arrow still, and I've still got 3 players to play. So, and I didn't even captain Haaland, and I'm still on a big green arrow. So I don't know what that says about everyone else, but I think I'm actually feeling all
right. Trig, how are you doing, mate? No clips this week, but
yeah. My game week's pretty much going as I expected it to. Shit.
Yeah, you did call the 1-0 Arsenal, didn't you?
I did say that I was expecting a red arrow this week because I saved for transfer. And I'm kind of building up for a big switch in game week 12, 13. And I knew that Gabriel would do, he does nothing all game, gets 12 points. Everyone's got him, of course. As soon as they bring him in, he gets a goal 1 week, lucky assists the next week. And, he gets 3 or 4 goals the whole season. But, of course, it's when everyone just gets him in. And sick of a little prick. And Arsenal are going to do this every week. I said to Joe midweek, although Arsenal are only 43% to keep a clean sheet, I said it's obvious they're going to. I mean, we just know they're going to, don't we?
Yeah.
And Fulham, absolutely hopeless. I don't know if we had a shot the entire match, did they? Shot on target. Then Saka nearly got a penalty, didn't he? And that one didn't count. He should have really had the assist for the goal. I mean, Gabriel didn't really deserve it. He did nothing, just got his head in the way. And shocking game week. Gyökeres, we'll talk about him later. What a useless prick.
Yeah, I was saying to you in the chat earlier. I mean, I've had a pretty good game week, but I'm actually thinking about going to wildcard because I'm really not that happy with my team. But we'll look at it in a bit. So what we're going to do? We're going to go through the games so far. We'll have a look at our teams, have a look at the games tomorrow, and just have a general chat about any early plan moves and stuff like that. So before I start, let's just have a quick say hello to people in the chat. Hi to Sean, hi to Greg, hi to FPL Nightmare, hi to Claire, Hamid, Kevy. Got lots of people in tonight. Kalo, Jan, Dan, Tyler, Abby. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Lots of people talking in the chat as well. Cole, which is great to see. Gravy Dave. Hi, John Sparta, Chris Woodstock, and Mahai. This is me. I'm mispronouncing names this week, lad, before we even get onto the players' names. That's what I do. I mispronounce names, isn't it? And lots of other people. There are too many people in the chat to keep going. And Dave Wilshire. Lads, have you noticed something about my background? Maybe you...
Hang on. You're back. Oh, where's your piano gone?
Well, it's behind me. When you reset the cookies and that on your computer. So when I signed into StreamYard, everything had changed, and for some reason, it's reversed my room. So even though it's completely pretend, I feel really weird because the piano's on the wrong side of me. It's very, very strange.
Did it used to be on the right-hand side?
It did, yeah. I've got no idea why, because it's an automatic, background. Anyway, I'm sure the viewers don't want to hear about that. So let's get on with the games. So Chelsea versus Forest obviously was the first game this morning. Well, let me ask you guys first of all. Trig, I'll come to you with it before we get on to the actual game. What did you think about Caicedo, Enzo? Was there some other people not in the team?
Yeah, Caicedo. Well, it's basically just those two, I think, wasn't it? From memory.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, very surprised that Caicedo doesn't start. First time he hasn't started since 2023.
Yeah.
And in the first half, they were pretty awful. Like Forest could have been 2 or 3 goals up. But once they came on at half time, it was a different story. But yeah, I was very worried when I saw the team sheet. Very worried.
You said in our chat.
Absolutely rubbish looking team.
You said in our chat we're effed, weren't you? But you weren't, Trig.
Yeah,
you weren't. So let me read through the stats and then we'll have a chat about the game. So the lesser known Reece James with a goal. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Achi Mpong. Trig, you don't know. Achi Pong and Neto with the goals. James, Neto, and Esteval with the assist. I didn't realise Gusto got sent off. And then James, the Achampong guy, and Neto with the bonus points. Defensive contributions for my lovely Anderson and Cucurella. Yeah, what did you?
I tell you what, Anderson could have had a big haul today. You were unlucky. Did you start him?
I did start him. Yeah, I did start him.
He could have had a big haul. He should have scored at least 1 goal and had assists as well. He looked pretty good. He was on all the corners.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fairly convincing victory, even without the players that you.
It wasn't really.
No?
Honestly, Forest should have been 2 or 3-0 up at half time, and Chelsea were. I don't know how they kept a clean sheet in the first half. But Ange obviously got Forest like he does. They were pressing like lunatics. So by the time they got to the second half, they were all worn out. And Chelsea brought Caicedo and Gui on. And it made such a difference to the shape of the team and everything. And within 5 or 10 minutes, they were 2-0 up. And we had chance of getting sacked in the morning. It didn't even take till the morning, did it? I think he was gone before the end of the match.
Darius, were you surprised by that? Because if you were gonna, I would have expected them to have lost this match. It did. I mean, I think it was a crazy appointment, and they needed to sack him. But are you surprised it's after this match? Particularly if Trig's saying that they would play quite well.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised it didn't happen before this match.
Yeah.
39 days. 39 days he was in charge. 39 days. Let that sink in. 7 games, no wins. I think he got a couple of draws. Let's be honest, Ange Ball needs to be just relegated from the Premiership. It just doesn't belong in the Premier League. It's not good enough for it. He's no good. Go back to Greece, mate. Australia doesn't want you. We're going to ban you from coming back into the country. If you can't win a game in the Premier League, we don't want you. Take your basket case and take it back to Greece. We disown you. No, but honestly, I watched that game and Trig's right. I was DJing at an event and I was watching that game, and how Forest didn't actually score in that game is Jesus in the second half hit the bar and the post from point blank range. I was like, oh, there goes Chalobah's clean sheet. And then it didn't go in. And I was like, happy days. But Trig's right. How Chelsea got away with a clean sheet in that game, no idea. I thought Chelsea were pretty poor. I think Forest won the XG battle, didn't they, Trig?
They probably did. I mean, Sanchez still managed to annoy me because in the 94th minute, when they're 3-0 up, he got booked for wasting time. And I thought, you stupid prick. And he didn't even get any save points. You know, Forrest is so busy hitting the post, they didn't actually give him anything to save. I think he only had to make 1 save in the entire match. But Forrest still should have got about 4 goals. But they're just missing. Anderson, honestly, he could have had like 15 points today.
Yeah. Do you reckon Forest players can come back on our radar now? I mean, probably not, because they were useless beforehand as well, weren't they?
Yeah, I think the fixtures are bad now, aren't they?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. I mean, you can't blame it all on Ange because they were useless anyway, weren't they? They were having a big come down this season, which is why we were all getting rid of them before Ange even took over, weren't we?
Yeah, they should have stuck with what's his name, Nuno.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on to the next match, which was Brighton 2, Newcastle 1. Double brace from Welbeck, Rota and Jorginho and Weither with the assists. Let me see if I can say this right. Watermaid. Volta Marde, something like that. Anyway,
Voltamada or something.
yeah,
Isn't it?
Millie with the assist, and then bonus points to Welbeck 3, Walter Marde 2, and Jorginho with 1, and then defense contributions for Wather,
Wow.
Van Heck, and Dan Burn. Did either of you guys see this match? I mean, I should say here, of course, I mean, we'll get onto his team in a little while. FPL Nightmare took a hit this week, didn't he, to get Pope and who was it, Trig? Longstaff in, wasn't it? I think.
He brought in Longstaff and Pope on a hit.
Yeah.
Bench Longstaff, luckily, because he only got 2 points, and Pope only got 2 points as well. Actually, Pope owners are the only ones that have missed out this week, because most of them started Pope over Dubravka or whatever his name is, except for Joe, because you remember I advised Joe to start Dubravka in the show midweek.
Yeah.
And he took my advice, and he got 9 points for Dubravka. But the likes of Nightmare, they all did it the other way around and started Pope, and only 2 points for him today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you were saying on your stream, Darius, you're thinking Voltamada is a good buy, maybe coming into your team?
Honestly, yeah, he looks good. I'm not going to lie. He's just getting the business done. When you finish like that is a man and a bloke that's got supreme confidence in his ability to finish at the moment. So, I mean, you don't do that kind of a finish unless you've got confidence. And I think that's really good for Newcastle. I'm still a bit concerned about Wissa when he comes back, but Voltamada, he looks the piece. He looks like me. He looks like me playing at number 9. That's what I would do. That kind of a finish that would go back in. Sadly,
I thought you looked like Calvert-Lewin. You were more like Calvert-Lewin, I thought.
No, he didn't. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was like YouTube, retired.
That's when he's just doing this bit of cross-dressing on his other channel, isn't it, Darius? Your secret second channel. Yeah, I mean, to be honest...
Shout out to Luke in the chat. Oh, Luke just asked you, Trig, do you get all your opinions from Bakar?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Why? He's done a lot better than me this week, I expect.
I was going to say, Volta, you can tell how well he's done by the fact, like, nobody's even talking about the lack. I mean, people are saying Newcastle, I mean, obviously we're not at the great start to the season, but nobody's really talking that much about the absence of Isaac, are they? Because he's just hit the ground running really well.
How was Gordon? Was Gordon any good today?
I don't know. I didn't see it. Did you watch the match? Well, you were.
Obviously, he got 3 defensive.
From the bits I saw, Newcastle weren't very good. Like going forward, they didn't look like they had that many chances in that game. The bits they kept on crossing over to, because obviously I was watching the Man City Everton game more than anything else. But it was mainly Brighton doing the attacking. Other than the Walter Marta goal, I don't actually recall that many Newcastle chances.
God, look at those names. How am I going to try and pronounce them? So, in my mind, this game week was all about me versus Darius, and it was my double Burnley defence against Darius's DCL bench boost, and my lads came into me. So, 2-0 to Burnley. Oh, God, about how am I going to pronounce this? Tusha Onu with a goal. Darius, that's how it's showed that I'm not the only bad one at pronouncing. Try and pronounce that one for me.
All right, hold on.
Ugo Chukwu.
Ugo Chukwu.
Ugo Chukwu.
Piss off, Trig. That's not how you say it.
But you've got no idea. But Trig says it so confidently, even if he's got it completely wrong. You just think, oh, right, that's how you say it. Assist from Walker and Florianto Tino. Bonus points for Walker, Dubravka, and that other guy with Hugo Chukwu, whatever his name is. Defense contributions for Florentino, Esteve, Walker, ZB. Well, just have some normal names, Premier League. And is Ampadu,
Zabi, I believe that is.
Yeah, so I don't know. Were you I mean, I was obviously absolutely buzzing to get my Burnley double clean sheet. How disappointed were you with your DCL blank, Darius?
I kind of expected him to blank, to be honest. I just did it because I thought if this comes in, this stream would be just unbearable for Gary. And I just thought it was worth the chance of having a stream where Gary was just sitting there, shitting his pants for the entire 90 minutes or whatever we go for, knowing that I'm going to be gloating about Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming in as a DCL unit. But alas, he had 0.33 XG, and as usual, he did nothing. But it was a risk I was happy to take. At the end of the day, I mean, the Pigeon's probably going to score tomorrow and just rub it in for me, and I shouldn't have done anything. But I had to do it. I don't know why. I just had a feeling that I just wanted to try it. And this season's all about having fun. And I had fun regardless of the fact it didn't work. I still had fun trying. And I mean, it would have been biblical. If he'd scored this stream, Gary would be sitting there not looking like he'd have a smile on his face. He'd be drinking his beers and powdering his nose every 5 minutes, let's be honest.
I love it because we knew coming into this one of us was going to have done shit, weren't we? The other one was going to have done well, pretty much. It's good. It's good. I'm in for it. Trig, did you have any of these players or any thoughts on Burnley Leeds?
Yeah. I started Rodon, and I actually thought Leeds would win this. And you look at the XG, and it looks like they did have by far the best chances in the match. But they've obviously done nothing, and Rodon didn't get any defensive contributions. And a lot of people started Rodon, I think, this week, didn't they?
Probably bench boost.
The keeper, I played Sanchez over Dubravka. He had slightly more chance of a clean sheet. If I'd known Caicedo wasn't going to start, I would have probably played Dubravka. But it ended up being 4 points in it, even though Sanchez kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm so pleased with Dubravka and Esteve. Like, they were my bench boost heroes. Every time I've started them, they've done well for me. So this was the it's the game of the weekend, really, isn't it?
This was funny, wasn't it? Because it was supposed to be the lowest scoring one.
It was,
and me and you were joking that it was going to be 4 each, weren't we, the other day?
Yeah. So first thing I'll say before we talk about the Mac is, I was saying to you lads beforehand, even though I've had a decent game week, I might be wildcarding, and one of the reasons for that is Evan Nilsson not starting. Do either of you have any idea what it was? I've heard he was partying in Brazil. I've heard he was injured. I've heard all sorts of stories, but I've not actually seen anything for it. Have either of you?
That might be it. He might have just been in Brazil. So, well,
if he is, the manager will be pissed off, though, won't he?
But look at Croupy Jr. I wonder if anyone had him on their bench boosts, because quite a few people do have him, don't they, on as a non-playing striker.
Yeah, maybe. But would you have had him on a bench boost? Anyway, so let's read through it. Mateta with a hat-trick, obviously. Could have had 4, I believe. Darius was shouting on his stream. He missed the easiest chance. Munoz, 2 assists. Always great attacking asset. Gui with 1. Croupier Jr. with 2. I like this match. There's no difficult names to pronounce. Christie with 1, and assists from Semenyo and Tavernier. Semenyo keeps the points coming in, even if at a much reduced rate this week. Bonus points 3 for Mateta, 2 for the Croupier, and 1 for Munoz. Defensive contributions for Richards, Munoz, Senesi. Look at that, 18 defensive contributions. Adams and De Keite, if De Keite is a defender, which I'm not sure of. Darius, I'll come to you first on this one, mate. You were watching this one. It must have been a pretty exciting game.
I wish this was the feature game of the live watch along, because, honestly, it kept on cutting back to this game more than any other game. There was just so much happening in this game. First, there was Senesi getting red carded, then it got sent to VAR, then it was yellow card. It was a bizarre, very bizarre. So in the chat, it was like going VAR possible check, and I was like, oh dear. And then I go Senesi possible red. And then when the ref went to the monitor, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble here. I'm about to get a red card on the bench boost.
It's like 4 minutes, wasn't it? Darius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was long.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then people were like going, I was like, how long is this going to take? And then apparently the ref said, yeah, yellow card. That never happens. Normally when they go to the monitor, it's normally they change their mind. So I'm glad the ref didn't. And I haven't actually seen the tackle. It never actually showed it on the watch along. But I got kind of lucky there, I suppose.
You could have been.
But what a game!
You could have been on
2-0. Yeah,
you could have been on
I
zero.
could have been on 0. You're right,
You could have been
Gary.
on 0
I
for
could have been on 0 points.
How many defensive
Biblical. That would've been
contributions did
biblical.
Lacroix get?
This was a cracking game, though.
8.
I
Yeah, he's not doing that well, is he? On the
No, he's
month?
not.
No.
Richards and Munoz doing well.
I bought a bad
14
one.
11.
Just say it's quick well done to Zeitgul, who obviously has appeared on here a couple of times, who I saw is very, very. He had Mateta, which is obviously very good for him. So yeah, I mean, what? Obviously a great game, but what can we take from this from an FPL perspective? I mean, I suppose
Mateta's back.
Yeah, the highest transferred in player this week now.
Probably.
For João
He's got
Pedro
Arsenal.
and Gyökeres, probably, won't
Yeah.
it be?
But he's got Arsenal.
Rebel
I
Nelson.
don't think you're bringing in Mateta to verse Arsenal this game week because
No, true.
let's be honest. Arsenal
we
are the
wouldn't.
masters of clean sheets.
Sorry, Darius?
Yeah, the prick's got all his goals in the wrong game, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
sold him. And you know, anyone who watches Let's Talk FPL, Andy keeps saying he took up Mateta on his wild card. No, yeah, instead of Evan Nilsson. And I mean, I've not wild carded yet, but I did exactly the same thing. I took Evan Nilsson out instead of Mateta, and it's definitely not gone well. And they've got some pretty decent fixtures coming up, Palace, as well, haven't they? I mean, Mateta was actually one that I was going to be thinking about over the next couple of weeks anyway.
I think Europe's what's been putting people off, isn't it?
Yeah.
European competition.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hi to Hippie and also to Podner. I just noticed in the chat.
But it's interesting that Munoz 2 assists. It's not a very good week for the defensive contribution boys, is it? Really?
No.
They're,
I said attacking
London's on my
defenders.
bench. Yeah.
Okay. So Haaland, obviously returning again here. Man City 2, Everton 0. Haaland with inevitable. I mean, people in your. I couldn't believe it, Trig. I was watching Darius's excellent watch along, and in the first half, people were saying, "Oh, we've got to get him out. We've got to get him out." Salah's coming in. Salah's coming in, and then he scores 2 goals, and all the chats. Inevitable. Haaland's inevitable, but I mean, he is, isn't he? O'Reilly and Savino with the assists. Bonus saw Haaland 3, O'Reilly 2, and Nunez with 1. Then defensive contributions saw Gonzalez. Gonzalez
Joy.
and Dye. Yeah, he was. I think he hit it by half time. Trig. Garner and Tarkowski. Trig, yeah, I'll come to you first, mate. I mean, we'll get to the captain issue. I could have entitled this. Actually, I'll come to you first, Darius. Three times we've done these now, Trig. Me and you have captained Haaland. And every single time he's captained Foden. Darius, take it away. What was the decision-making process behind sticking with Foden as your captain?
I want to give Trig and Andrew a chance at beating me this year. So I'm deliberately captaining Foden because the rest of their team suck. So I've got to give them a bit of an advantage. Like Nightmare's in the chat, getting all cocky in there. I'm seeing him in there. Shout out to you, Nightmare. I can see you in there. But when you literally have 44 points and you've taken a -4 for a goalkeeper and Longstaff, and you're giving crap about someone not captaining Haaland and whatever, all I have to say, mate, is maybe get a good score before you get involved in the chat. Because let's be honest, if you're losing to someone that's got Krejci -2 on the bench and he's captain Foden and you've got your captain 26 points and I've got mine 6, and you're still getting spanked by the D unit, maybe you're the one that should be sitting there getting the laughs.
And you did say he had a very good game, didn't you? Just
He
not
did.
an FPL.
Foden was man of the match. They interviewed him after the game. He was man of the match. Unfortunately, you don't get points for the assist to the assist. Both Haaland goals came because Phil Foden is a magical player. And he played the balls into, unfortunately, O'Reilly and then to old mate. And then Phil Foden set Haaland up for the hat-trick twice, and Haaland spurned the hat-trick twice, and I was denied any kind of returns from Foden. I mean, I don't know if that would have helped me or not helped me. I think potentially it would have helped because not many people had Foden. And if he'd actually got those assists, it might have actually helped. And obviously, I would have had him captain, so it would have been a few more points. But, I mean, I sit there and I look at the last two games. Like Brentford away, he doubled Haaland's XGI in that game. And then obviously the Burnley game where Stev robs him of the goal. I mean, you can sit there and say it's unlucky. You can say it's naivety. But at the end of the day, FPL is meant to be fun. And picking Haaland because every bastard in the game is picking Haaland as their captain feels boring to me, which makes me want to take it on. And you're not going to win FPL if you play the same way as everyone else. And I can guarantee you that. The guy last year didn't win it by captaining Haaland every week. He did some random moves, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to follow the AI template, you want to follow the masses, by all means, but you're not going to have as much fun as I did. And yes, you'll ride the ups and you'll ride the downs. And we had the Mukiele 17 points, and then we had the Foden 3 points. It is what it is. And we had the Kretschke -2, and then we had the Semenyo assist that Trig waved at again and thought, don't need him. Yeah. It is
got 4 points.
Well, that's still a return.
Except prick Gabriel, I need, I think. gets assist just for doing nothing. He just nods his head. Assist. Calafiori was so much better today in defence. Timber should have got more. All of them should have got more points than Gabriel, but it's always Gabriel.
Craig, any thoughts? We'll get on to that, Matt. Any thoughts on this one, mate? And Darius' decision to keep with Foden.
Yeah, well, it's dumb, Captain and Foden, isn't it? I mean,
you said it, mate.
People always say you have more fun. There's nothing fun about getting 2 points, is there, when Haaland's got like 13.
Yep.
And let's have a look. There was something in this match. Or Reinders. I think Reinders is in trouble for us now.
He came up before 60.
I think we're going to have to look. Yep. Yeah. Very annoying. 58. So that's the difference between 1 and 3 points, isn't it?
Mm.
And now that Kovacek's back, who plays in a similar kind of a role, I think we're in trouble with Reinders. I think we're going to need to find a replacement very shortly. And at the price he's at, there's not too many options, is there?
No.
And Everton are actually pretty good in this game. Like they could have gone ahead quite easily in this match. It wasn't vintage Man City. You know, without Haaland, they'd have been definitely struggling, I think.
Yeah.
But Haaland's just ridiculous form, isn't he?
Yeah, he's... I don't know, that's got a
and no Guardiola. He wasn't there today, was he?
No.
Bye, Mrs. Trig.
Bye.
But say goodbye to Gary, Mrs. Trig.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, Miss Trig. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's move on to the next one. I mean, yeah, Haaland. He must be nearly. I mean, he was already before this game week. I think it was the 3rd best ever start to a season. I mean, with those two, he's probably got to be on. You know, in terms of number of goals, he's got to possibly be the best start to a season in terms of goals. If anyone knows in the chat, let us know if I'm correct in that.
Oh, do you know what Solio wanted me to do this week, Gary?
I do, but yeah, tell the audience.
It wanted me to take a hit, take a -4, to take out Haaland and Reinders and replace them with Salah and Calvert-Lewin. That's what Solio wanted me to do this week. And
do you know what Review wants me to do next week? And he'll probably tell you as well. It wants us to captain Fernandes over Haaland. There is absolutely no way that's happening.
Who have United got next week?
I think they've got Brighton at home. I may be wrong.
But at least we've got Fernandes, I suppose.
Yeah, Brighton at home.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people have got rid of him.
There's absolutely no way you're going to captain, not with his effective ownership anyway. Okay,
No.
let's move on to Sunderland Wolves. 2-0 to Sunderland here. Is it Mukele? With a goal. Krecic with an own goal. Assist for Hume and Talby. Mukele, Ballard and Hume with the bonus points. 3-2-1 in that order. Offensive contributions for Lefay, Xhaka, Mukele, Ballard, and Andre and Muntesi, whatever. Any thoughts on this side? I mean, I had no. Darius, I'll come to you because, of course, you had the Mukele guy who did really well. I had no FPL interest in this, so I didn't really give a monkeys.
Well, let's be honest. I was hoping for a 0-0 in this game, which would have potentially have given me 16 points. Now, I ended up with 16 points from the 2 players I got, except I got Krejci with a -1 and Mukiele was 17. So I still got my 16 points. It was just spread across not how I expected it to be. So I can't sit there and complain. 16 points from Mukiele plus Krejci is pretty good. So I'll take it. Sunderland, I think, at home, they're a pretty damn good team at home. They're hard to beat there. I think that's like their 3rd clean sheet at home as well. So, and that's also their 3rd 17-pointer of the season. So they had Ballard 17 points, Alderete 17 points, and now they've had Mukiele 17 points. So their defenders have actually been getting some huge assholes. I don't know if they can continue it, but I'm not going to sit there and say, I mean, that's nice. Why I bench boosted? That's why I've got Mukiele. So, yes, he wasn't on the bench, but the reason why I bench boosted was because of him. So, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, if you put him on your bench, it would look decent. FPL Nightmare's saying we should get...
I could have done a Trig and a Barry and put 17 points on the bench would have made it look a lot better. Could have put our old mate, what do you call it? Dan Byrne on the bench instead. Sorry. Krejci on the field, Mukiele on the bench. It would have looked a lot better on the bench. Let's be honest.
Trig, you got any thoughts on this, someone?
I think Wolves are in a bit of trouble, aren't they? It's looking like Wolves are in trouble. But yeah, Sunderland have always been good at home, even when they were last up in the Premier League. They're always hard to beat there, isn't it? It's not an easy place to go at all. I'm surprised, though, because they're keeping it up, aren't they?
Yep.
See, Xhaka got a few points as well, I think, again today, didn't he?
Yeah, he's good for DC, isn't he?
Parrott played Xhaka.
Yeah. Few comments about my pronunciations. FPL Nightmare saying we should get Gary to read off every player in every team's 25-man squad, a quid for every charity for everyone he butchers. As long as you're paying the quid, that's fine. Gavin, I will try harder. All right, so let's go on to...
Send him the bill.
Will do. Right, final game. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Do you remember the old George Graham? 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Becoming a bit like that again, isn't it? So Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. Trossard with a goal. Muck to Trigger's frustration. Gabriel with the assist. And then Gabriel... Well, we were very surprised by this, weren't we, Trig? Just before we started the stream, that Saka's on 7 points. So Gabriel with 3 bonus, Saka with 2. I guess he would have shared 2 with Trossard because they're on the same.
No, he got 13 defensive contributions.
That's crazy for Saka. And also Kuenja. That's how I'm going to say that one. Yeah, Trig, I mean, come to you. Give us a bit of a rant about Gabriel's assist. You weren't pleased with that?
I weren't pleased because I was listening to it rather than watching it. I heard, Saka, what a great corner, goal! And then I look at it and I see a little head pop up, like top of someone's head. And I think, I know who that little prick's going to be. And of course it was Gabriel, who was probably the least deserving defender in the entire side for Arsenal to get bonus points or to get an assist. Yeah, he's the one who gets it. Calafiori could have had a couple of goals. And Timber was very attacking, whereas Gabriel did absolutely nothing. And of course, the review favourite came away with the points. So not a surprise there. Kind of written in the stars. I said to Joe, it's going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, but I couldn't be bothered getting a little prick because I just can't stand the sight of him. And hopefully Virgil van Dijk will outpoint him tomorrow. But now he's got 12. It's not looking quite so likely.
You made me laugh, Trig, because in our little WhatsApp group, as soon as that happened, because I wasn't actually looking, you just went, I'm getting out of here now before that, what was it? Show off.
That smug little prick Gary turns.
I wasn't even looking at the game. Darius, any thoughts on this one, mate? You said this is the worst match you've seen this year. Is that right?
Oh, there's something about Arsenal that just is not enjoyable to watch. I literally like to refer to them now as set piece FC. They literally rely on corners. Every week, it's a set piece that gets them a goal. They're very good at it. I'm not going to lie. They're very good at it. They obviously practice it a lot of training. But watching the games, I mean, Fulham normally find a way to score, but they didn't today. And potentially they could have in the first half. But that second half was the most boring 45 minutes I've watched all season by a country mile. It was just... Arsenal kind of suffocated the game. I don't even know what they do. It's not even like they keep possession. It's just they just block space. They literally are 1-0 to the Arsenal. Like, for all means, I'm very happy for Arsenal fans, et cetera, et cetera. But my God, bring back the attacking teams that win the league. Because if Arsenal win the league playing football like this every week, that's an indictment on the Premier League because that is just crap. Like, I'm not even going to sit there. That was not an enjoyable game to watch. Gyökeres is the biggest 68 million rated fraud I've ever seen going. I'm just glad Man United didn't waste 68 million on him because he's crap. He literally is Coventry City level caliber striker. And they're still in the championship the last time I checked. And that's probably where he deserves to be. He probably needs to go back to Portugal. I think he's why people bought him, I've got no idea. The biggest waste of 9 million you've ever seen in your life.
He's awful, absolutely awful. It was nearly half time and he'd only had 2 touches. He'd only had 2 touches. Absolutely woeful. And then he did get a chance, didn't he? Saka put him through.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even score from that. And that would have been such a difference in terms of points. But he's just not going to do it, is he? And the trouble is he's got Sunderland and Burnley coming up. And it makes it very hard to get rid of him until game week 12, game week 13.
I don't think we can.
No,
Trig.
We just got to put up with a prick, but he's not going to get any points. But you know, if you sell him, you will. It's one of those.
Do you think
it's one of those FPL paradoxes, isn't it?
Sorry, Darius.
Do you reckon Marino starts instead, like in one of those 2 games?
He might.
You said midweek.
Well, no, but I'm just looking at the games. Like, who do they play in the Champions League the next 2 weeks?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Havertz is back soon as well, isn't he?
There is a chance he does miss one of those games.
Because
manager keeps saying he's playing well, but how can you play well when you've only had 2 touches?
Exactly. I think Arteta was saying that because he is low on confidence. All he had to do was look at the Sweden games midweek. Isaac and Gyökeres played up front. They lost to Kosovo. They lost to Kosovo with Gyökeres and Isaac. They lost to Kosovo with 180 million pounds worth of strikers up front. How do you lose to Kosovo with that? Unless you're crap.
And the other thing is, because he cost 9 million, say you do need to get rid of a Reinders or somebody else in the next few weeks, the only way to really do it is to get rid of Gyökeres to free up some money, isn't it? So he's actually ruining my entire side just by being there. And he's going to, he might have to go shortly because I can't stand him. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I've already got Saka, so I don't really need both of them. But it's just one of those FPL paradoxes where as soon as you sell them, they're going to get points.
We had a very
wrong keeper week.
We had a very similar situation with Watkins recently, didn't we? Where he was blanking, but he had those good fixtures, and I mean, you stuck with him, Darius, didn't he? And it didn't work out.
I sold him the week he bloody well scored, didn't he, Gary? The only week he did anything, he scored. It's always the way. It's just how FPL works. This season, for me anyway, everything I touch just either just goes down. Actually, in fairness, Mukiele's been. I've been preaching I'm going to get a 17-pointer for a few weeks, and finally I got one. So
you got one, yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to have a look at our teams. So, who should we start with?
God,
Let's go. Let's go to.
Let's go with the lowest scoring player. Let's go with Nightmare's team. Look at that idiot. -4 with the goalkeeper.
Well,
Let's go there.
Well, the lowest scoring player is actually Trig, but we will go to Nightmare.
Yeah, am I going to lowest scoring team?
Only by a point. Only by a point. Only by a point. Right, let's have a look at Nightmare's team then. So, FPL Nightmare, anyone who's new is a channel regular. Well, look, we haven't had him on for a while.
He's only got one left, though, so I'm going to be ahead of him.
All right, let me read through it. So he took a hit to get rid of Pope and Barnes and got in Longstaff and...
Gary, one sec.
Yeah.
Before you go any further, how funny is this? So Vardiol didn't play, right? Yeah. And then his subs that could come on were actually didn't play a Livramento. I mean, that is just shit. And he's sitting there dishing out shit in the chat, and his team is full of
this
so
is where
many
you wanted
holes.
to get to. Let me read out, Darius. Pope with 2.
Can someone in the chat give Matty a quick slap, please? Because he's getting on my whip.
Keep saying you should have taken it. Pope with 2. Porro still to play. Vardio didn't play with 0. Senesi with 2. Saka with 7. Kudos home to Villa still to play. Reinders 1. Semenyo 4. Baltimore 8. João Pedro 2. And Haaland with 26. I mean, Darius, Trig, we both said it. He made a very good video, of course, this week called The Transfer That the Content Creators Don't Want You to Make, which was basically a hit for a goalkeeper. This is why you don't take a hit for a goalkeeper.
I was only joking, Nightmare. You didn't have to ban him.
I
know you're in a bad mood because of your transfer.
I'm happy with it.
What's going on? I can't see the chat at the minute. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you reckon? You don't take a hit for a keeper. I'm going to stick with my principles. You don't take a hit for a keeper. I mean, he was making the point to me the other day. Yes, over the course of 7 or 8 game weeks, he was saying if I'd taken a hit for Pope 4 or 5 game weeks ago, yeah, I could have got 10 extra points over Sells. But in a single game week, it very rarely comes off, which is why I'm waiting for a free transfer to do it. You get what I mean, Darius?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, if you backed it up on the stats suggested that Newcastle haven't conceded a goal away from home and they've been very defensive away from home. They just, I don't know. Sometimes the international break just breaks rhythm, and I feel like that's what happened with Newcastle. And I've got Pope as well, so I feel your pain, Nightmare. I feel your pain. Yeah, I mean, as if bloody Dubravka gets 9 points, like, piss off.
Yeah. It was on the cards, though, wasn't it?
That
Leeds game was going to be low scoring.
Possible.
But it wasn't, though. Really?
I did say to Joe midweek to start Dubravka over Pope because I said it's going to be low scoring, so he gets more chance of bonus points and all this sort of thing if they both keep clean sheets. So,
yeah,
you know, and I think he was the favourite to keep the clean sheet. I think just about.
It was 29%, I think, if I remember rightly. Spent enough time looking at Rob T's tables this week. I should know, but yeah, I
mean, he was lucky to get one, but he did get one, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Go on, Trig.
But you can't judge a hit on 1 week, though, can you?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that might pay off in the long run.
All right, let's go on to the actual worst team, which, sorry, Trig, is yourself. 1 point worse off.
What?
So, Nightmare was on 48 when we take his hit. You're on 47, mate. So, Sanchez with 5. Virgil still to play. Senesi, Trig. Lacroix with 1. Rodon with 1. Saka with 7, which we already commented on. Reinders 1. Fernandes still to play. Haaland 26. João Pedro 2. Yokeresi. But most of us, we're pretty much out this week, aren't we? None of us have got many players left. Anyway, Trig, what were your feelings on your game?
Just a bit of bad luck, really. I mean, it was a 50-50 call on the keepers, and I went to the wrong one. I was tossing up all week who to start between Ndai, Senesi, Rodon, and all them, and Ndai got more points than the ones I started. So, it's not a huge red arrow I'm on at the moment, and we don't know what Virgil van Dijk's going to do tomorrow, or Fernandez. So it's not terrible, but I'm just sick and tired of most of my players not doing everything every week, like Reinders, João Pedro, Gyökeres. It's like every week.
Yeah.
Very poor.
Yeah. It's very strange.
And even the DEFCON daddies have not done much the last couple of weeks.
I think it shows, really. Do you think the fact that Saka got this defensive contribution probably shows how negative they're playing? Do you know what I mean? For him to be fighting back and doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, against Fulham.
Yeah. Are you going to take a hit out?
Against Fulham. I love when Trig said that, against Fulham.
Are you going to be taking Matty's advice and getting Gabriel in for Virgil?
No way. I've done the maths and it didn't make sense. But obviously it's going to work out not in my favour. But things never do. But no, because come game week 12, Virgil van Dijk's actually a better option, I believe. So, and it's not worth the big switcheroo. But after this Man United game, Liverpool's fixtures aren't awful.
Are you still planning?
And we'll see how they get on tomorrow.
You still planning to roll for another couple of weeks then?
Yeah, I'm rolling again this week.
Yeah. Obviously, unless
Anderson could have a problem though, couldn't he? But I don't know who Anderson was playing. I don't know whether I was planning to start him next week or not.
No, we can look at that in the podcast, can't we? All right, let's get on to Darius's team. So even though we've sort of taken the mickey out of him, but he's not had a bad game week. So 56 points. Are you on a green arrow? Doesn't show you on here, but I'm guessing you probably are.
Definitely on a green. Definitely on a green.
So
I've got 3 players to play still. I mean, if Man United score a goal tomorrow, I'm probably on a big green arrow.
Yeah, let me
but regardless of the bench boost, the bench is not helping me at all. Let's be honest. Just throw that chip out the window. Thanks, Mark Subbins, for sitting there putting in 2 times of the shittest chip available instead of putting in something half decent, like a limitless chip, something that actually required a brain and some creativity. But alas, you put in a chip that's meaningless, boring, and all your buddies that you sit there and buddy up with basically say it's a crap chip. So why on earth did you put it in ×2?
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It is ridiculous.
What a lack of imagination to just give us the same chips twice rather than give us some new ones. It's absolutely pathetic.
You didn't say this to Joe when he was saying he'd been campaigning for it for years the other night, Trig.
No, but I have been saying it all season. It's just so lazy and pathetic not to give us different chips.
I quite like it.
The same ones.
I quite like it. At least it's giving us more variance.
I like it because of review.
No, not because of review at all. Well, okay, let me ask you this. Would you prefer to have had no changes or to have it like it is?
None. No changes. Leave the assistant manager chip in. I would have been a very happy man. Very happy man. I know how to gamble on teams. I would have done well.
All right. So we still had the assistant manager chip, but would you rather not have these 3 extra chips than have them?
100%.
Yeah, I'd rather not have them.
Really? I disagree. I think it gives more variance. It gives a bit more.
Defensive contributions are a lot of crap as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Trig of that one.
Differentials like the World Cup would have been so much better. What they need to do, right, is bring in something that makes it harder for the algorithms, because what they've done with defensive contributions is made it easier for the algorithms. So it just leads to more people copying and not playing their own game. If they brought in points for differentials, it would have completely thrown the algorithms out and they wouldn't have had a clue what to do. And it would have been great for people like Darius there, Nightmare, myself, us players that like to pick differentials and go and find differentials. It would have been fantastic. But oh no, we have to sit here with blooming Senesi and all those players and Anderson.
So let me just, for anyone listening sorry, Trig.
Pathetic.
I just want to read through for anyone listening on audio Darius' team. So Pope with 2, Burn 2, Chalobah 6, McKaylee with 17, Foden captain 6, Fernandez in Burma still to play, Semenyo 4, Calvert-Lewin 2. Oh, so he wasn't on your bench. Bowen still to play, Haaland 13, and then bench boost of Petrovic 2, Reinders 2, Senesi 2, Krekic -1. So you, considering you captained the wrong player and had a crap bench boost, you can't be too disappointed, Darren.
To be honest with you, I actually, when I was watching the stream, I was like watching it back and I was like, oh, sometimes when you get 17 pointing and you see some other crap going down in your team, you think, oh, you've had a crap week. And then actually I was like going, you know what? When I look back at all the scorers of all the games so far, they're people that no one owns. Predominantly, like no one owns other than the Arsenal defence, et cetera, that just been. But I'm still on a big green arrow. And it's not because I played the bench boost chip for 4 points, I can tell you that much. And it's not because I played Foden as captain either. It's because I had Mukiele. And Mukiele 17-pointer has come in big time. I mean, like, even the people who got Gabriel, I've still smoked them by 5 points with Mukiele. So sometimes you just need one really big score in your week and you're on a green arrow. So I think for me, that's going to be Mukiele. And tomorrow, obviously, there's Aston Villa versus Tottenham. There's a few people that have Tottenham assets potentially that are playing. Maybe some people have Liverpool assets, like Trig's obviously got Van Dijk. But then I've got 3 players still to play. So it will definitely be a green arrow. It's just a matter of how much from here. If Man United show up tomorrow, if Amarin gets them to click, I could be on for a big green arrow. And if Jared Bowen shows up as well, hopefully Nuno gets them to click as well. It could be a half-decent game week, even though it could have been legendary if I'd gone slightly different directions. But I sit there and look at it and go, what were the options on bench boost? I could either drop Pigeon to, and I think Pigeon will start on the bench tomorrow, which is why I got rid of him in the first place. I either drop him to Thiago. Thiago hasn't played yet, so we don't know how that's going to go. We could have brought him to Strand Larsen blanked, so that's no good. Could have dropped him to a Seedor. He blanked, so again, no good. So it doesn't really matter who I put him to. If I put him up to João Pedro got the exact same points as Calvert-Lewin. If I went to Gyökeres, got the same exact points, it wouldn't have made any difference. So, yes, people say it was a stupid move or whatever, but at the same time, I only spent 5.5. Lots of other people have got 7.6. In your case, 9 million wrapped up in the exact same amount of points. So when I started looking at it like that, and then I looked at Nightmare's score and I thought, I'm actually having a good week.
You're up to 6 million.
5.9, according to mine.
5.9, okay.
Apparently.
Let's move on to the... Should we have a quick look at Roberto's team? We might as well. He is actually top of our league. So
who's that guy?
Yeah, I know. We see him occasionally on there, don't we? He occasionally appears in our WhatsApp chat as well. So he's on 59, Dubravka with 9, Gabriel 12, Goodmanson 1, Senesi 2, Reinders 1, Semenyo 4, Kudos still to play, Minter 2, Gyökeres 2, Haaland captain 26, and Bowen still to play. He's got a nice team, lads, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's still looking good, isn't it?
Yeah, he's top of our PubCast host league now.
Couple of good players going tomorrow. Probably going to outscore Fernandez, aren't they? Who's away at Liverpool?
Yeah.
What's his score so far this week? Sorry, I can't see.
59, mate.
Oh, 59. It's a bit. He's got Gabriel Mukiele. Other than that, I mean, obviously Captain Haaland, but other than that, he's got no returns other than Dubravka in goal. And let's be honest, if you're relying on Burnley defence this season and you get returns, you can consider yourself exceptionally lucky.
All right.
If you're getting returns from those players, you're exceptionally lucky. Burnley will definitely finish in the bottom 2 teams. Getting a clean sheet and 9 points from your goalkeeper and 8 points from Estev, if you've played him, is the stuff of legend. But let's be honest, there's no other way of sugarcoating it. You're lucky.
That is. Well, they were home to Leeds, though. They were home to Leeds. It's no worse.
All right, Trig.
other people's fixtures.
So let's move on to the top of the pile. The top of the pile. I'm gonna milk it. Getting very close to 1 million in the world. Let's read through this. And great does this sound, chat. The Bravka 9, Esteve 8, the double Burnley defence coming in for the G unit. Sinetti with 2, Gabriel with 12, Fernandez still to play, Semenyo 4, Reinders with 1, Anderson with 4, and Dyer, who came in for me for Evan Nilsson, who obviously didn't play, with 4, Gyökeres 2, and Haaland 26. I do want to make a serious point here, lads, because I was going through my transfers last night, right? Trig will know from when we did the podcast on Thursday. I was lost, weren't I, Trig? I was lost. I really had no idea what I was going to do. It was possibly Raya in which case I would have started him. It was possibly Konza out for Timber, in which case I wouldn't have started Esteve. Or, and obviously we don't know the outcome of this one yet, Fernandez to Saka. And had I made either of those first 2 moves, I would be down points. Because basically, sorry, for anyone watching, I did nothing. And Craig, I think it just goes to show, if you know what I mean, we were saying before we started, sometimes it is just better to do nothing, isn't it? When you're not sure what you want to do.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, unless something's really standing out for you. I mean, there was nothing wrong with any of the players you've got, is there, really? So,
well, you said that.
You know, although, of course, you need a wild card now. But
well, I'm honestly thinking that because Anderson's out, Evan Nilsson possibly out. I don't really want. Who don't I want? I don't want Gyökeres. I don't want Anderson. Either of the Andersons. I probably don't want Reinders anymore. So yeah, it may happen. It's not going to happen tonight, but it may happen relatively soon. Darius, come on, give us your roasting of the man who's top of the tree this week.
Honestly, if this is the definition of bullshit luck if ever I've seen it. Let's be honest. You're rocking. I'm not even gonna, there's nothing I can say to that other than the fact that sometimes when you throw a dart at a dartboard, you land on 20. Most of the time you land on 1. Gary's thrown it this week and he's landed on 20. That's what it is. There is no other explanation for the nonsense that we are looking at on screen at the moment. And I'm sure Trig will back me up. How the
FPL manager?
Well, you're not great because you don't actually use your brain. You use FPL Review. Trig will back me up on this. FPL Review was telling him to do a transfer, and Gary bottled it because he couldn't use his own brain to make his own move, so he just didn't do anything.
That's true. He said at the beginning of the week he was definitely going to do Fernandez to Saka.
I did.
Yep.
Then he went on Review, and Review hated the move, and it put him off doing it.
Wanted Enzo in for Anderson.
Totally confused him, and he was like a stunned mullet. Didn't know what to do, but just sat there frozen like a rabbit in the headlights and did nothing. And now he's saying that doing nothing was a really good, bold, strategic move.
It's probably his best quote.
The mind games. Wait, what? No, to be honest with you, it did come in. I was going to do one of the moves, and then it came into my head what you said. If you're it's a general FPL saying, isn't it? If you don't know if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And
if in doubt, do now.
Exactly.
That's my one.
I knew you were doing nothing. I knew Andy was doing nothing. I thought maybe this is a good week to save, and it's worked out. I do have a 3K and a 11K finish, Darius. I will point out there, as well as another couple of top 50Ks. Well, anyway,
did you win?
Huh?
Did you win?
I won in my head, yeah.
Let me take the algorithm. Let me take the algorithm.
Guys, serious point. You always tell me the wild card. Would you consider wild card?
Shit, mate. It's still shit.
I
know. Got lucky.
I wouldn't.
A fair point. One of the reasons it's still shit is because I've not wildcarded yet. All of you guys have wildcarded. I've still got a lot of players that I would have wildcarded out by now, if you know what I mean.
Actually, to be fair, maybe you don't need a wildcard because the luck you're getting, Gary, at the moment is legendary. I would just ride that luck until it runs dry and just hope it continues because let's be honest, next week you'll probably get a Jokeris hat trick and you'll get some bullshit Anderson assist off a corner probably, and Dyer will probably get another penalty for Everton, and we'll be sitting there going, well, you shouldn't have wildcarded. Like, I just look at this team and I go, how has this scored more points than mine? Like, double Burnley defense is just, I mean, well, fair play. You did it and you didn't bottle it like some other people. Like Nightmare. But yeah, I mean, the Gabriel thing, like, I know what Trig was saying before.
He was a bit lucky. He's been lucky.
I don't know what the assist, I don't know what the XA off that header would have been, but I don't think it would have been high. It was literally just a little flick on more than anything else. And yeah, fair play. He got the assist, whatever. Again, swings and roundabouts. Next week will be someone else, and we'll be talking about them instead. But I can guarantee the narrative will be this week, you need to buy Gabriel. You don't need to buy Gabriel. I still think Gabriel's massively overpriced at 6.3 million. I still think Timber's a far better pick. I just think Gabriel got lucky this week.
Yeah.
Calafiori was the best one by a mile.
Oh, he looked good, Trig.
Mm. Okay, should we have a look at tomorrow's matches? So we've got 3 matches left. Very quiet Sunday. Are you doing a watch along tomorrow, Darren?
I am doing a watch on the road. Liverpool versus Man United. Obviously, I've got double Man United players playing. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, you might actually, Nightmare's sitting there saying Darius is doing a good job putting on a brave face. I'm telling you, Nightmare, I'm not putting on any face, baby. I will tell you what, though, I will not be holding back tomorrow if Man United roll out with Dalot against Salah. I will be so pissed off if that happens because Salah will be on for a hat trick, 100%.
What is your, like, I don't know, insipid hatred with Dalot? What is it all about?
He's crap. Have you watched him play, Gary? Have you watched Dalot play football? He is a shit footballer. I don't even know how else to describe it. I could sit there and I could have pulled a hamstring and I'd still do a better job of defending and crossing a ball than Dalot does.
You just, of all the players to have a hatred of, like a fullback just seems a very strange one to me. I don't know.
But he goes missing. Back stick. You can guarantee that if Liverpool score tomorrow, it will be down the side that Dalot is meant to be defending. The dude has no positional awareness. If he somehow manages to put a cross into them, I've just seen Abby just said, literally all he can do is a long throw. He doesn't even do the long throw well. I mean, Šeško's goal came from a shit throw that landed 5 meters short from where it should actually be if it's a long throw. Somehow makes his way to Šeško and he scored. But let's be honest, Dalot is probably the worst defender that you can buy in the Premier League. Amran's either in a relationship with him, related to him, or I don't know what it is. That's all I can put it down to because it makes no sense. If you ask any United fan, they'll tell you Dalot is a shit footballer, shouldn't be in the team. And he shouldn't be, but he is.
Let's do just to give very brief thoughts. I mean, there's no point in really doing complete predictions because we've already done them. But I mean, Trig, Spurs versus Villa. I mean, who's the Kudos? I guess is the big FPL interest in this one. Would you say? I guess there's probably some Spurs.
Yeah. He's a big overperformer so far, isn't he? I'm not very high on Tottenham, but I think Villa are coming back into a little bit of form now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I don't think there'll be a huge number of goals in this one. I think it'll be like 1 each or 2-1 to Tottenham probably.
Yeah.
But I'm not overly excited by that game. I won't be up to watch that one.
No. Darius, I mean, with a, if you can, with a neutral head on, how do you think this one was actually going to go, Liverpool, Man United?
My thoughts will change based on the team lineup that Man United drop. If Amran drops a lineup with Dalot in it, Liverpool are winning the game comfortably. If that man is at left wing back, Man United will lose the game, 100%. Now, if he's on the right-hand side, potentially that might make a little bit of a difference because I think Dalot's better on the right, but not by much. I think if Dallo is not in the lineup, Man United win. If Dallo is in the lineup, Man United lose. Definitely if it's on the left. If he's not in the lineup, I reckon Man United win 3-2. I think both teams score regardless. Both teams will score regardless. We saw 3-3 between Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. I think this game, if Man United score the first goal in this game, which hopefully they do because it'll make it a good game of football, I think both teams will score, and I think they'll both score multiple goals. I think we're in for an absolute humdinger tomorrow. I don't know why, but I'm going 3-2 United. I've thought that all week. I'm just hoping that it's my boys involved in all the goals. But actually, I just think, look, Liverpool's games, the first 7 game weeks, have been very lucky. They've been very lucky. Their wins have been very lucky. They've all happened in the 90th plus minute. If you look at the Burnley game, they relied on a penalty in the 95th, 97th minute. Like, they're not playing good football. Man United are probably playing better football than Liverpool, and that's saying something because...
Come on.
Well, they are. Gary, tell me they're not. The XG for the season, Liverpool have had an easier fixtures than Man United. Man United have beaten them comfortably, and we played Arsenal, and we had like almost 2 XG against Arsenal. And I just think that I don't know. I think Man United do Liverpool tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute boil over. Amarin's going to get the time he needs to turn this ship around, and all of a sudden, Slot is looking like a flop.
Trig, let's bring the conversation to a sane person.
Let's bring it to the Arsenal fan.
Have Man United been playing better than Liverpool this season?
In patches there might have been, but not as a whole. It's tricky though, this one, isn't it? I'm looking forward to this game.
We need Fernandes. Do something.
I'm thinking that Slot is going to have done some work on Liverpool, and I'm expecting them to be more defensively minded than they have been. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be just 1-0 to Liverpool or something like that tomorrow, but I might be wrong. I just think they're going to be will have been working on their defensive frailties over the last couple of weeks. But I think with Amarin being told he's got 3 years, I think United are going to turn the corner. I do think they're turning a corner. It just hasn't kind of really sunk in yet. So I'm quite keen to get some United players in the next week or 2.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Šeško. And even somebody, Mason Mount, could become good, I think, in the next few weeks.
Really?
He's somebody who actually understands Amarin's system. Yeah,
Sure,
Amarin likes him.
Dodgy hamstring.
What about West Ham Brentford? Trig, sorry, Darius, come to you. You're the only one with. You've got Bowen. Have you got? You haven't got Diorf anymore, have you?
No, I got rid of Juve. I've just got Bowen. Monday Night Football is always a weird one. Normally there's goals for both teams on Monday Night Football, so I'm expecting this to be either 2-1 or 1-1 or 2-2, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Be interesting to see because a lot of people were on Burn this week, weren't they? Quite heavily transferred in. But we'll have a quick look at the effective ownerships for tomorrow to see for us who have not got particular players, who can they hurt. So Fernandes, you haven't got him. Look at that ownership. Tiny, 7.8 and 13%. 7.8.
Is that all it is?
Yeah. What's that? That's in the top. Which one's the top 10K? I think it's the one in white, isn't it? If he returns to us, I mean, all 3 of us have got him, haven't we? That would be brilliant. And just going down to the players I don't own, who are still like not many.
Does anyone still own Wirtz?
So we got. I can't see anyone. Oh, here we go. Kudos on 45% ownership. Van der Ven 38. Yeah, Van der Ven 38. Salah's still on 30. Virgil on 18. Porro 17. Gapco. I mean, there still is some Bowen on 8. There are still some players that can come and bring, or in my case, Green Arrow down, and in Darius' case, or make our game week worse, isn't it? It's not a completely dead game week yet if your team's out. Would you say? Trig?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to take much, is it?
Mm.
Salah, Virgil van Dijk. I don't think many have got Isaac, have they? But a few have. Few still got Akitake, I suppose.
Yeah, I've seen
Kudos is a big one, though. I mean, if Kudos got a brace, that would have a big impact.
I would say Napster said she triple captained Salah in your chat earlier, Darius. There was a few people on that.
I think Salah's a good captain. I think Liverpool definitely score, and I think Salah's probably going to be the one that gets it. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams get a penalty tomorrow. You've got to look at the referee. Oliver loves making the game about him. If there is a chance to give a penalty tomorrow, you can guarantee he's going to give one. That's the kind of ref he is, sadly. And it's hard to believe that he's put on probably the biggest game in English football, Liverpool versus Man United, and we get some donkey in a ref's uniform that likes making the game about him. I actually think he'll probably ruin the game tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. He hates Bruno, by the way. He's got a massive record of booking Bruno Fernandes. So anyone that owns Bruno, expect a yellow card tomorrow because Oliver hates him. He hates him.
Okay. Lads, do we want to do... Oh, actually, we'll just... Darius, one thing I've got to ask you. What have you got any planned moves yet, mate? Go back to your team.
I've looked at the live price rises before, and at the moment, the only people predicted to rise are Pope, Rice, Stack. Apparently, looking to fall. This is interesting. Gibbs White, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes.
Really?
I've got no intention of selling Bruno, so I think I'm just going to cop that price drop. But he is scheduled to drop. So is Morgan Rogers again as well. So Morgan Rogers is going to drop down to 6.8. But to be honest, the fact that I'm not going to move Bruno because the fixtures post this game make it look really good. So why would I sell him now?
It's a good differential now.
Yeah, what Trig says. And there's no one rising tonight that I really want to buy. I was tempted by Rice, but after tonight, I just don't know. I don't know if Arsenal attack or midfield is the way to go. I think you're probably wasting your money, to be honest.
He's lost half of his corners because he was taking all the corners and now he's not taking the ones on the right-hand side.
Lads, do you want to do a Q&A?
Yeah, go on.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to.
Can we talk about my challenge team first?
We can. I'm gonna go for a powder my nose. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Get your questions in now. Can you put it in the thing, Trig?
What's that?
In our, the. Or do you just want to talk about it? You don't want to show it?
Oh, I could put it in. How do I do that?
You know how to do it. You've done it before.
Do I have to do a screenshot and then put that in?
No, you do the share thing in the bottom and you put it in there and then I can show it on the screen.
Yeah, I share a screenshot though. It's easier than sharing the web page. Hang on.
1 second, Gary.
Yeah.
Can you look at Avi's comment in the chat? Can you please read that out?
Avi says I have a question for you, and then do you reckon it's worth
Go on, do it.
Avi, I thought you were my friend. Do you reckon it's worth to get actually Mpong, Tachu Uno, Ugo Chiku Woo, Cricket, Iro Goodbanam, Kuzende on a wild card? I would say go for it, Abby. I would say go for it. You nasty person.
How long did that take to type out?
Have you put it in, Trig?
Yeah, it should be there.
Okay. Right, let me have to
for you to put up. You have to put it up, but it's not on the screen.
Yeah, I'll have to zoom out and zoom in again. Remove that. Stick that. Yeah.
There we are. Very exciting.
Right, I'm gonna pop the powder in my nose while you talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many of you guys are playing challenge. I'm up to probably the one top K now. And is there any sound? Can you hear me, Darius?
Yeah. Mateta?
Oh.
Are you kidding me? You picked Mateta?
Well, what happened is this week you got 6 extra points if they
Yeah, I saw
scored
that.
from a big chance. So he must have had some big chances because Haaland was my captain who got 38. So he must have got 19 points. But Mateta got 35 without the captaincy. So his goals must have been from actual big chances.
He got 3xG. He racked over 3xG in that game, Trig. It was huge.
So they must have been big chances. People that bought Bowen this week must be a bit pissed off because they'll all be going, "Oh, I should have got my Teta."
I thought I'd save my challenge team. I didn't save it, so I've got no one.
That happened to me last year. I was doing really well, and then it's so easy to forget to do it, isn't it?
I thought I'd press save team, but apparently I didn't. Now I've got to I can still pick a team. It's just I can only pick players to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got a captain Salah.
He could do well tomorrow too, couldn't he? I'm glad I've got him in there.
Yeah.
It's weird when Gary's not here, isn't it? Because that buzzing noise goes and it's all quiet.
Weird.
You only notice when he goes how much bloody noise his computer fan makes. I don't think the audience get to hear it, but it's strange. It's all quiet and peaceful. But anyway, shall we answer somebody's question?
We should.
Well,
I didn't lift the curse off Bowden, thanks.
Shira Fernandez. What's he on about? It's Bria. We haven't got any questions, have we?
Doesn't look like it. Get your questions in the chat. The chat is just here to gloat.
I'm hopeless at looking through chat. It's I don't know how you guys that do the live streams do it. I'm rubbish at it. I can't read and talk at the same time.
See, I've got my laptop here on the left, so I've got my massive monitor. You've seen my monitor in the background, so I've got that open, and then the chat is on my laptop. So I have that open there. So whenever you see me live streaming, you always see me looking slightly to the left, and that's because the chat is to the left. But it's hard to keep up. When I'm watching the game, I don't really want to be watching, but it's always good to interact because it gets the chat involved and they like it.
Avi wants to know who you're bringing in for Foden.
I'm going to think about it. There's no price drops or price rises tonight, as I just said. I'm probably not going to bring in Rice based off what I saw tonight. So
why aren't you keeping Foden?
I still can't believe Saka got 7 points. I can't believe Saka got 7 points today.
Either can I. I was so depressed because of Gabriel, and he was on. And then I cheered up. I thought he'd scored a goal. I thought my stream must have been behind for him to go to 7 points. And then I cottoned on he must have got defensive contributions and bonus as well. Imagine if he got a goal or something as well. He would have had a real big score, wouldn't he?
I know. It's crazy.
Real big score. I can't believe he got defensive contributions. Anyway, Gary is a bit of a prick. It's true, isn't it? But
you're too late. I already got
what a prick he is, isn't he? Oh, here. Hello, Gary.
Yeah, mate. Heavy. What to do with Reinders? 1 point early sub. I know he's cheap, but I don't enjoy owning him. There is.
I'd get rid of him. I'm going to get rid of him. There's two factors behind bringing Dominic Calvert-Lewin today. One was because of the fact that he plays 90 minutes and he's good as a bench option on the last place on your bench, and he only costs 5.5. And essentially, he's going to become the Reinders of the team, and Reinders is going to become someone that's better. So I'm literally transferring that spot in the forward line, which, let's be honest, the forward line has sucked this season predominantly through most of it. There is a world where you bring in Mateta instead, but I mean, he's had one really good week. Is he going to continue doing that? I don't know. like FPL this season has been very much, other than Semenyo and Haaland, everyone else has been hit or miss every single week. So I just think that potentially Reinders is one that potentially looks like, with all the people coming back, he might be the one that ends up getting the pep related. Foden is not getting pep related. Based off what I saw today, Foden won the game for City today. I know Haaland scored the goals, but if it wasn't for Foden's creativity, he doesn't score either of those goals. It's just a little disappointing that neither of them ended up in like any kind of meaningful points. Like, he wins man of the match, but gets nothing for it other than 3 points. The clean sheet point, that's all he got. But he literally created both goals without actually getting the assists.
Trig, what about
I actually think the time to get rid of Reinders is probably now. Because Kovacic is back, which is going to be a huge difference. I mean, Pep really likes him. And it is going to affect Reinders' minutes, I think. And he's doing nothing. I don't think it was right to get rid of him before now, because we were still kind of judging him. But I think we've seen enough now to... And what's going to happen is he is going to miss a game in the next 2 or 3, and then everyone's going to sell him. So why wait for that time? Why not just take him out beforehand? Because is he going to be worth keeping? He's not getting defensive contribution points. So while we're waiting for him to get attacking returns, he's not actually getting us any points, is he? And he's about the same price as someone like Caicedo.
Yeah.
So, I just think he's going to become a rotation risk. We see this with Pep. He starts the season with someone and he plays them for like the first 7, 8, 9 games. And then he gets bored with them and replaces them with somebody else. And yeah, I wasn't impressed with him today, were you? I mean, I only watched the second half, I think, but I wasn't impressed with what I saw from him.
I was thinking, we're always talking about strong benches. You could use him as an 8th attacker, but then again, if he's not going to start, he's not a good 8th attacker either, is he?
Yeah, and I guess because he's cheap, he's like a transfer, isn't he? So the temptation is not to bother, like you say, and replace somebody else in your team instead, and just bench him. But like people, like I got a transfer, I should probably be using it to get Gabriel rather than bother taking out Reinders.
It's not.
Or getting Semenyo even. So is Reinders, and the other thing is, of course, if we're getting rid of Gyökeres in a few weeks, then it's better to do a double switch with Reinders, isn't it? And upgrade Reinders to somebody more expensive, probably.
Yeah.
Like Wirtz.
Dan's trying to catch us out again with Mudryk. Mudryk in for a hit, Darius.
Come on.
He's done this on the last couple. He's done it this on the last couple of streams. Johnny Amazing.
Turn it up.
Amazing Johnny 007 is Sarr and Mateta fixture proof now. No one's fixture proof, are they, Trig?
Who's fixture proof?
Sarr and Mateta.
No, I don't think they are. I mean, Europe still worries me with Palace a little bit. And they've got something else, haven't they? They've got a big match with Liverpool coming up as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Is that in like the Carabao Cup or something? We could still get a double game week if Palace win that match.
Isn't that in the second half of the season, though?
I'm not sure.
I'm not.
We'll get something in the first half of the season, like a short game week or something, if Palace do manage to beat Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't bother keeping up with it until it's actually properly announced.
But that's another big game they've got now. So they've kind of got a lot of fixtures.
Who asks, if you could be an animal, what would it be and why? I would be, when I was younger. I used
that last week.
No, that was if we could name each other as being an animal. This is your own animal. I always used to have this fantasy of when I was about 5. We used to have like gerbils in a big cage, and they always used to dig underground with under the mud, and they used to make these little burrows. I'd like to be like a mole or a gerbil and dig burrows underground. That's my answer. Trig.
That gives me claustrophobia straight away. That would be my worst. Being a mole would be like my worst nightmare.
What do you think? You're the wise owl.
I don't know what I'd be if I was an animal.
Grumpy sea lion.
I'd be that parrot that flogs a muffin.
What animal? I'd say a cat. I'd be a cat.
A cat. Darius?
What's a tough one? What would I be as an animal? I reckon I would. I reckon if you could morph me into some sort of animal, I would be a pug. Pug gets excited about most things in life. Always happy. You'd barely see him sad.
Bloody terrible things. You'd be having breathing problems your entire life.
Already got breathing problems.
Every time it was a hot day, you'd be struggling.
Darius, I got one for you.
Oh my God. Ponder said exactly what I said I was going. So last week, I watched back the stream last week that Gary and Trig did, and they completely bottled it when they said what the D unit was as an animal. And I said, and me and Nightmare both agreed on this, that I should have been called a Tasmanian devil. Podner's nailed it. Trig, you let yourself down last week.
No, I know what we should call you, a lemming.
You don't want to be a pug.
He's a lemon. He's a lemon Trig for captaining Foden 3 game weeks in a row.
That's not a lemon. That's Haaland captainers of the lemmings.
No, lemons. Remember lemons that killed themselves in the computer game, jumping off the the bridge. Yeah.
But they all follow one another though. Darius doesn't do that.
We're going too far in our metaphor here. Gavino, Gavino says we can do a quick answer for this one. Cheers, lads from Belfast, Ireland. Hi, mate. How much longer should I keep Reinders and Gordon for? Well, I think we've given our opinion on Reinders. What about Gordon?
Reinders.
Sorry?
I wouldn't have had him in the first place.
What, Gordon?
He hasn't scored an open play goal for about a year, has he? In the Premier League.
It's been a while.
He was supposed to be on penalties, but I don't even reckon he's on penalties now, do you? The way how confident the striker's looking at the moment.
Ultimada.
Is Gordon going to get the next penalty? I'm not sure he is.
Darius, would you keep hold of Gordon?
Look, I'm actually a little embarrassed that I put him in my differentials video this week because I thought he'd do a lot better than what he did against Brighton. I mean, we've played 8 game weeks now. He's got no returns. In fact, he's got more negative returns than he's got returns. So, I don't know. It's hard to recommend a bloke that just isn't getting the business done. And at the moment, he's just not doing the business.
I think he's become a dolphin because he sounds like he's underwater, doesn't he?
God, he does that sometimes. Greg, I think this one's directed to me or maybe FPL Nightmare. Shearer, Ferdinand, or Sprelia. Captain, it's got to be Shearer, the man. Reinders for Gravenich, Birch. Straight swap, asked Tyler Trig.
Hey, I don't know about that.
No.
Actually, one of those, like Slobozer's or someone, not bad. Liverpool have got good fixtures again soon, haven't they?
Who would you buy?
I do think Reinders is on a very short leash now, to be honest.
Which Liverpool asset would you buy at the moment? Like, which one is actually worth investing in, do you think?
None of them.
But like you just said
serious.
it, like, the fixtures are getting better. Like, is there anyone that's
they
worth
are. For the good fixtures. Well, the thing is, by the time I get the good fixtures, we should have a much better idea, I think. But at the moment, none of them. Because like Wirtz could still be the one, I reckon.
He could be. I agree. He could be.
Chris?
Isaac could be as well, couldn't he? I don't think Salah's ever going to be.
He's too much rotation risk. Isaac, I'm not the minutes.
Who, Isaac?
Yeah, because of, what's his name, Etatike.
Yeah, but he could, by game week 12, he could have got a couple of braces or something, and he'd be nailed in the team. But like Wirtz could get a couple of assists and a goal in the next few weeks, and then he could be right back into play.
Chris,
but at the moment it's tricky. I still think Virgil van Dijk's a good pick, unlike Matty.
Chris Woodstock asks, I think this one must be to me. Who's the best content creator in the Southern Hemisphere? And I've got a very clear answer to that. His name's FPL Davey, a South African lad. Very, very good he is. Or we could do a poll on that. Trig and Darius, what do you reckon?
You don't want a bloody poll on that.
All right.
What was that? Never even heard of him.
FPL Davey, have you heard of him, Trig? He was very good. He was a South African lad. But he's been going for years. He had like 3,000. Obviously, it's my two co-hosts. I couldn't pick them apart. But he was really good. He was a really good player, and he's just dropped off the algorithm with so many, since Raptor and Mate and all those sort of started.
Mira's quite good.
Oh, Mira as well. Yeah, Mira's good. Well, he's not posted for about a month. Because she was going to come.
Oh, has she not?
No, he was going to come on here in December, but I'm worried about asking her now in case he's just off content. Anyway,
I was going to volunteer to go on a show because I watched it recently. I thought I might ask if I could go on, but I never did. But is India in the Southern Hemisphere? Have we got to put up with all those pricks as well, or?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know what some of.
Are we competing with them for the Southern Hemisphere?
I don't know. You're in the Southern Hemisphere. I'm not down there.
I think India would be in the Southern Hemisphere. He's a teacher. You're a teacher, D Unit. Tell us.
Part of India is in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a big country, isn't it? It's the second biggest country in the world.
Yeah.
Third. It's Russia, then it's China, then it's India.
God, the chat's going crazy. I've lost completely where my place was.
We're all excited about this poll between me and D Unit to see who's the top content.
Well, I'm not going to do it now because if India's involved, we'd have about 50 zillion options. Darius, who are you planning to bring in for Foden or Savvy?
I think I answered that in the chat already. I don't know. At the moment, I want to see. There's no price drops with Foden. Foden is not near a price drop yet. He's low owned, so I don't have to worry too much about that. It'll probably be later in the week that I have to worry about it. But I feel like I watched today's game and he played well. He just didn't return for the third week in a row, which is obviously highly frustrating. But a lot of the other players that played today didn't return either. So
it's true.
There's no guarantee.
Then you get picks like Gabriel where hair touches the ball and suddenly they're on a fucking big score. And you get someone like Foden who's done really well in the last 3 weeks and doesn't get anything.
Yeah. Sometimes you can the luck can desert you and then luck can inherit you. And unfortunately at the moment I seem to be Mukiele obviously was a little bit of luck, but I feel like in general, luck has deserted me this season so far. And potentially, hopefully, at some point it will turn around. It normally happens that way. The FPL is always like that. You have weeks where you're like the best, you're the best manager in the game, and you've got other weeks where you're the shittest manager in the game. Thankfully, I don't think I'm the shittest manager in the game this week. I just think that, I've had a little bit more luck than some other people so far. But also unlucky at the same time I played a chip.
Chris says, would you go Reinders and João Pedro to Saka and Gui? So I was actually thinking before I got all the injuries of going Evanilson down to Gui and Anderson up to Saka. But anyway, to get back to your question, Trig, Reinders and João Pedro to Saka and Gui.
Well, I think if you get Gui, you're obviously just benching him, aren't you? I don't think he's going to be reliable enough to start, but it's a good way of getting Saka in, I guess. But I haven't completely given up on João Pedro. I know, I mean, they have got good fixtures. But, yeah, I mean, he could have done okay today if Neto had passed to him when he should have done and hadn't messed his passes up. He could have been sure on goal and he could have had an assist when he headed that ball back in the box to somebody else. So it's like Darius is saying, I don't think it's as terrible as people think it is with João Pedro. I'm prepared to wait it out with him. Same
His
as I might
XG
have
was
to with
bad today,
Jokic. Yeah, true.
0.04 XG.
First half they were awful. Second half they were good, but he wasn't really involved, was he?
Nah, he wasn't.
Even
so
after,
Jokic,
yeah.
Jokic is on 0.45 XG per 90 now, and he's scored 3 goals across 8 games.
So 3 goals across 8 games isn't incredibly awful, is it?
When you take out that penalty, though.
And with the easy fixtures they've got, you'd think it would go up, but yeah, he's got to score sometime, surely. The trouble is, if he gets 1, I mean, he could get 3 or 4, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Question for you, Trig. Is Mrs. Trigger ever going to buy you a mic stand? I
doubt it very much. I'm on the couch.
I have discussed this with Trig. Me and Trig have an identical microphone, and mine is 3 foot away from my face. It's all to do with the settings, because Trig's on the couch. As you say, mate, it won't work, will it?
Yeah, see, it has got a stand. If I was sitting at a table, I wouldn't have to hold it. And you can also get those big trailing things, can't you? Like Darius has got there.
Yeah, I used to have
like one of those. Yeah, you can get them, but that wouldn't work on the couch either. And I was just using a headphone that was inside my headphones, but that's not such good quality sound. So that's why I don't use those.
I'm surprised. You must have strong wrists, Trig, from some sort of training, because it's quite heavy, that thing.
What sort of training would it?
I don't know what I was implying there. It's quite heavy. It's quite a heavy mic, though.
They are quite heavy, aren't they?
Yeah,
no, I'm resting it on my big stomach.
There we go. There's an interesting conversation about mic stands. Just scrolling through, I reset my thing. So, Graham and Burke, good play replacing Ryan Lids. I think I to Niall there. I think we've answered that one. Is it time to take
What's that about Tinder?
What?
Tinder. What's that about a Tinder update?
Tinder update? I don't know.
No matches.
I've not got to that part.
You must have been talking about Tinder on your channel, have you, Gary?
I have in the past, yeah. Prod says, "Is it time to take Pedro out?"
He's changing the subject quick.
I'll get to it when I get to the thing.
Well, so, Trig, you're married, aren't you, Trig?
Wow, not exactly, but
close enough.
Yeah.
Gary, what's your relationship status?
I'm between relationships, you know. The last one was about 6 years ago, and the new one is yet to start. But you know, so I'm sort of in a long term between relationship status. So I think during my interview series, I may have dropped in a few times that I was single, and if there was any young ladies in the FPL community who were open to a man who spends his Saturday night drinking and talking to you two, then please apply.
Someone please clip that up so I can send it out.
Send it out, you know. The strange thing is, right, I've got on my Tinder profile, and I have told this to a few people, but only to Yelena and a few people. I've got in my Tinder profile, I've got a YouTube channel, and as soon as if they say to me, oh, you've got a YouTube channel, that's great, can you send it to me? And then I send it to them, 2 minutes later, deleted.
I'll tell you a funny story. I was telling a mate of mine. He was like, when I was in Bali or whatever. One of my mates is single, Zach. I'm hopefully going to get him on the channel at some point, and he's single. I said, mate, just put in your profile that you were the D unit, and the D unit's an FPL YouTuber, and he reckoned his views went up. You obviously didn't sell it well enough, Gary. You didn't advertise it well enough.
Well, it's obviously I've not got the natural charm of you, Darius. Is it time to get rid of João Pedro, Trig?
Dear me. Probably not. Well, not for me because I support Chelsea and I've got to have somebody. I want to have Esteval, but they never start him, so I can't have him. I'm not interested in Enzo Fernandez. So, and I did tell you lot midweek that there was a good chance that he actually did have fluid or something on his knee. And he wasn't even in the bench, was he, this week? So maybe it's not just an international injury. Maybe it's overuse because he was playing in the Club World Cup all summer and is playing 3 games a week. And, you know, I mean, Gary, you're still thinking of bringing him in next week, aren't you? But I'd be wary.
Gary.
Pedro, not João Pedro.
I'd be wary. No, not João Pedro. I was talking about Enzo there.
Yeah, maybe.
But João Pedro, no. I mean, I've got to have, like I said, I've got to have some Chelsea cover. And who else do I get? Because I think like I'm going to review it when I do this big transfer in game week 12, which I've got planned. You know, I'm saving all my transfers up. And I still believe he can come good. I still do believe that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The Trig got a bit annoyed at me earlier on because he said, next season, I'm going to save all 5 transfers up, or something like that. And while
let's talk about that. That's interesting.
Let me finish it though. And I said, yeah, plans are great, but you know, every season you see they all do it, don't they, Trig? You know, at the end of the season, what have we learned from this season? And they all make a list, and then they all break it the following season. So I said to Trig, I don't think he's going to win. He'll do it, but yeah, talk us through the logic, Trig.
Right, I've had a look at a lot of teams, and how they started the season. And I'm quite envious of all the people that have got 3 or 4 transfers. And I looked at what they've done, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic strategy that I'm going to use next season. And that is to go into the season. Nobody like Wirtz in my team. No one that's come from any bloody German league or the Dutch league, and none of them, but just to get 15 proven fantasy players in my team and to not make a single transfer in the first 3 game weeks. So no transfers first 3 weeks. Just forget FPL exists apart from doing the bench order. And then wildcard in game week 4 to get a whole new team based on the start of the season. And then you go into game week 5 and you've got all those free transfers that you didn't use in game week 1. Now, a lot of people have done that strategy, and it looks great because you play your wild card, so you've got a really good team, and then you've got 3 transfers banked up straight away. And you don't need to use one the week after your wild card, obviously. So you can quickly get to 5 free transfers. And it stops you knee-jerking at the beginning of the season when we got no information. Like, often by game week 3, you don't know what's happening. So just don't make any transfers, basically, for the first 3 weeks. You know, pick a team that's got players that have got good fixtures, proven fantasy players, and just play them without making any transfers for 3 weeks.
We're going to do a quick poll. Will Trig stick to this plan? Right, Trig, I'm going to come back with you.
Don't do that poll. Well, you can do that poll, but also do a poll whether people think it's actually a good plan.
Okay. But I think
stick to it.
I think it's a fine plan, but let me throw this back at you, Trig, and this is what I meant earlier, right? It's all great having plans going in. You could get 4 injuries and a suspension.
Oh, yeah, that could happen.
Exactly. There's so many things that can happen. You know, it's easy to say now, all right, a player goes off, and I'm not.
I think if that happened, free hit. If we still got all those chips.
Okay, but even then, you say now a player goes off, right? Say you don't have Haaland, and you went Salah, right? Just for example, and Haaland scores 2 hat tricks, and Salah. I don't think I don't think you can go in saying 100%. I'm going to do
But you'd need 3 weeks anyway to work out whether that was just a one-off. Do you know what I mean? And then you just wildcard in game week 4 and make that switch. Like if someone gets a hat trick in game week 1, you don't necessarily have to jump on them. And that's what we do. We jump on them.
We do.
And then it turns out normally that it was just a one-off and you've just wasted a transfer. So I think you need 3 or 4. Often you look at your team at game week 3 or 4 and you think, well, if I haven't made any transfers, I'd actually have more points than what I've got. You know what I mean? So you're usually making unnecessary transfers at the start of a season,
Did you
chasing money or whatever. And yeah.
Did you hear Trig's plan?
I've heard Trig's plan.
What do you reckon? I don't think it's possible you can go in with that.
I think he's on Tinder.
Well, no,
Suddenly he seems very distracted.
He's looking for a girlfriend for me.
Yeah, I was like literally just plugging into the algorithm, FPL YouTuber, seeing where I can find Gary. How old are you, Gary? Honestly, I sat there, as I said earlier, I've got a bus team that literally is doing Trig strategy, but just not touching it for 5 weeks and coming to it every 5 weeks and just setting it up and then just not looking at it. There is some merit to the plan. The thing is, though, you've got to nail the plan to begin with, because if you don't nail the plan to begin with, your first 4 game weeks might end your season.
I don't think that's true, though. If you're picking proven assets with good fixtures, do you know what I mean?
I did that this year.
A situation like we had this season, right? Where
Milinkovic sells, Watkins sells up.
Yeah, but that happens to us anyway. That happens anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't act if you're not using your transfers.
Exactly.
No, but you need more than 1 week to decide whether you need to act anyway. Do you know what I mean?
I took 5 weeks too long with them.
Yeah. Like at least the first 3 weeks not making any transfers, and then by then you kind of have got a much better idea whether you do need to change any. But as long as you're picking them with good fixtures, I mean, you could get a Watkins scenario again, but it's kind of unlikely, I think, isn't it? It was a bit extreme this season.
Ponder says, how about Cunha and Mbumo, Trig, and Tielemans and Paqueta?
Yeah, but I'd never pick Tielemans. That's the thing. They're the ones you don't pick in the first place, and you don't have
Cunha
that
and
trouble.
Mbumo?
Yeah, Boomer was it. Yeah.
He was
Did they
probably
have
one of the
good
best
fixtures?
assets last year.
Yeah, he was. And he's not worked out, has he?
Yeah, but
At
you
all.
wouldn't pick them
Yeah.
because they're at a new club, so you wouldn't pick them. This is what I'm talking about. You're only going to pick players that you are pretty sure on. You wouldn't have picked Man. They had terrible fixtures at the start of this season, and they're both at a new club.
Yeah, but
So you wouldn't go there.
But I think what Podner's saying is saying Cole Palmer, Cunha, Burmo, Tielemans, Paqueta. These are all proven players in the Premier League. You would have had.
Tielemans isn't. He's not a fantasy proven player. He's a joke.
All the review seem to like him.
And that's why reviewing Solo was a joke, because
Why do you follow it then?
They're picking Tielemans. I just look at the projections. I don't follow their suggestions. Otherwise, I would have sold Haaland this week. But there are some players that just stick out on them, but you know instinctively aren't really fantasy assets. And Tielemans is one of those.
And quite a few
He was, wasn't he? I mean, have you ever considered putting Tielemans in your FPL team before now?
No.
No. And if you didn't look at review, you never would. The only reason anyone
look at review, so I never did.
That's probably the other thing you shouldn't do at the start of a season as well. Is you should probably ignore review for at least the first 3 weeks.
First 10 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah. It doesn't know what the hell it's doing. But next season, we're going to have a lot more insight, because we're going to know all about defensive contributions, aren't we? Unless they change it all again, which they might. But we're still going to have a good idea, even if they move the goalposts a bit. So we're not going to go in quite as blind as we did this season.
Lads, we've been going for nearly an hour and 50 minutes. I don't want to go for too much longer. So I'll just say, if you are watching this stage, please do like, please do subscribe. And I'll end with this question from, I can't remember who it's from now. Is Reece James an option? Trig.
No.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's not had any injuries, has he? He's not had any injuries.
What do you mean?
He's been back. He's been playing twice a week, and I mean, he will get one probably as soon as you buy him.
Has he been fit all season?
Pretty much, yeah. He's one of the only Chelsea players that has been. But he has been rested.
He's missed game weeks, though, Trig. He's already missed like 2 game weeks.
This is what I mean. This is why the Chelsea players are such a bloody nightmare.
Chandler's nailed, except when he gets sent off.
Yeah, maybe he is. That other guy scored today. He's that could be their new pairing, couldn't it? But then again, I think what's his name's coming back soon, isn't he?
Fofana. Yeah, Fofana's meant to be fit. So is Tosin.
Tosin as well. But yeah, Chalobah might still be the one. But in terms of points, I reckon James is by far and away the best one. He's going to get free kicks and he does get a few goals, doesn't he?
He's one of the few attacking defenders really left. Well, I mean, if he wasn't so injury prone, worth considering, isn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And he doesn't, I don't think he gets defensive contribution points, does he?
No, really.
So he's probably not really. I mean, I don't know how much he is even. Is he 5.5 or 5?
Yeah. Remember that season when Az had him and did really well with him? Probably going back 6 or 7 years here. And every time Az had him and sold him, I just bought him. And then he'd get injured. Az had the most lucky season with him ever. It was like when he sold him, he got injured. When he bought him, he went on runs. And but I mean, that was like 6 or 7 years ago when he didn't even have, he's had so many injuries since then that makes him more susceptible to getting more. It's
he has. He's playing quite. Yeah, he still doesn't play every match, though. He still gets looked after a tiny bit. But he's very good, though, isn't he?
Great player.
I tell you, he really is. He's a really good player, and it's not just his play. It's like his charisma and the presence that he's got. You know what I mean? Even Trump, I think, was a bit impressed with him. When he was he was. He could tell that, like, he looked at James. He thought, this guy's a warrior. This guy's a leader. He's a warrior, he thought, when he looked at James. Then he looked at Palmer and he thought, who's this stupid-looking prick that's laughing at me? You know what I mean? But when he was James, you could see he'd had a bit of respect for James, I think. And he's like a leader. Did you see him today when he brought that paper on? He brought a paper on. He's passing around a bit of paper. That was quite funny, wasn't it? And he hid it in his sock in case the media got hold of it. Trig, I've got to go for a piss.
No. We've got the result. We've got the results back of the poll. Will stick Trig to his plan. No 69%. No 60.
As long as you remind me and I don't forget and I'm alive.
No 69%. Yes, 31%.
Yeah, but tell me how many people that is, Gary. You're good at maths.
36.
36 votes.
Yeah, but how many said yes? How many said yes and how many said no?
24 said yes, 24 and a half. 25 said yes, 11 said no.
Well, that's bullshit for a start because more people said no than yes.
Oh, sorry. The other way around. I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought yes was on top, and I was like, my bad. Yeah, the 25 said no. 11 said yes.
I reckon that's a guess. Somebody get a calculator out and prove it.
That's right. It's right.
He's the mathematician. Lads, let's get out of here. First of all, anything you want to say before we finish, Trig?
Yeah, it's been a bloody awful week, and No, it hasn't really. I'm quite happy now Saka's got points, and it's all very good, isn't it? And thanks for everyone coming on, because we got like quite a good turnout. We've still got 155. It's not dropping, even now we're now talking about chocolate bars and animals and stuff.
And my dating life.
I think
it might actually go up if we start talking about our favourite biscuit or something. You know what I mean? People love that sort of thing.
On a Saturday night today,
yeah, not a bad turnout. But I guess most people have done well, haven't they, this week? Pretty good. I think Gary actually is, because you didn't wildcard, your team is more similar to the template at the start of the season, isn't it? Like you still got your Burnley players and everything else. And this is what I was saying, and it's like they were actually all good picks. They just didn't get many points for you in the first few weeks. So people are like wildcarding, but that's like going around in circles. I see Praz wildcarded. He hasn't done that great because I think he's all out. I think he's all out on 60 something, which isn't bad. But it's just like swapping one set of good players for another. Like I think he got Pope in and started him and all. I can hear you sighing, Gary. So I'll.
No, I'm thinking.
Wrap it up.
But I was thinking. So I'm very much a patient manager. Like Joe, obviously we had the and I still encourage people to go back and watch that, even though it's a podcast. We spent the first 50 minutes talking about his managerial style and stuff, didn't we, Trig, rather than the current game week. But yeah, I'm a very patient manager, so maybe I should have wildcarded by now, but I like saying.
I don't think so. I never saw a week when you should wildcard. I mean, I know D Unit always says you should every week, but
I need 50 wildcards of him.
By the way, you know, Joe was very keen on playing his bench boost. Well, he didn't play it in the end, and he was very lucky he didn't, because Foster didn't turn up. And he would have only had 4 points on his bench boost, I think.
Okay. Well, that was
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, so Praz is all out for 66 on his wild card. Before his wild card, his team was very similar to mine. And so that's why I was quite interested in it. He's currently doing like 20 more. I think he's got 19 more than I have, but I've got 2 players to come. So I could still beat Praz this week, who's wild carded away from my team onto his new team. So that's going to be interesting.
You'll be doing.
Can I get 19 from Fernandez and Virgil van Dijk? Probably not.
Well, I can't see you getting those points for those two, that combination.
I could get a headed goal from Virgil van Dijk. You never know.
When will your game week review be coming out, Trig? You have to wait till Monday.
It's tricky now because the clocks have changed and I work on Monday and Tuesday. So normally I do them when the games are finished. I'll try and do one tomorrow after the Liverpool match.
Yeah, do it then.
But it's not going to be like a whole game week review, is it?
Well, West Ham, it's not going to change things that much, is it?
Is that on tomorrow?
No, Monday. That's the one on Monday.
So I miss the game tomorrow. So Liverpool's the last one tomorrow, is it?
Yeah.
I might just do it tomorrow then.
Yeah. Darius.
Straight after the Liverpool match. But I don't really have time. It's difficult.
Darius, you're doing a watch along tomorrow, my friend?
I am. I'm definitely doing a watch along tomorrow for the Liverpool versus Man United game. Let's just hope Fernandez and Mbeumo bang it in. Hopefully there's a few Liverpool goals for the people that own Salah still as well, because I did say he was the best captain this week, and I still think he probably is. Even though Haaland scored a brace tonight, I still feel like Salah's going to do something tomorrow. I don't know why, and I've not been confident on him all season, but when it comes to Man United, that man just shows up and delivers the goods. Also, Trig. Now, I don't know if anyone else in the chat's noticed this, but Trig's coming here with his 800K next to his name, and from my knowledge,
I forgot to change it.
My knowledge, that's wrong.
It's wrong now. It's 1,200,000, I think. But the game.
I think Gary might be 800.
Yeah, he probably is now.
What's your overall rank, Gary?
I have to refresh the thing. I thought we were ending the stream.
Were you not
Well,
listening, Gary? G-Unit's just cottoned on that I've come in with my old rank. It's no longer.
Oh yeah, no, I
right.
noticed that ages ago. I didn't want to embarrass you. Yeah, no, he's down in.
It doesn't change that much.
He's 1.3 million now.
Well, that's not much
Almost
different.
doubled his rank.
I'm above him now. I'm on 1.1.
The week hasn't finished yet.
Well, he hasn't
I
finished
guess
it. Yeah,
what?
that's
Guess what? The
last
Dean
week's
and Bus
rank.
team beating you all, baby.
I knew I was getting a red arrow this week. I just felt an extra transfer was worth more than a red arrow.
Lads, I'm going to round it up because I do need to go and powder my nose again. Please do like, please do subscribe, please do join us. We are going to be joined on the podcast this week, Trig, by Andrew, who's not been on for, I think it's about 8 weeks now.
Excellent.
And Nathan Bacon.
We can talk about his... What?
Nathan Bacon.
What?
Is he coming on? Oh, he's funny.
He's funny. He's and he, I do believe, is the top ranked content creator in the world. I know certain people keep.
He's doing well again.
He used all his clips he used all his clips in the first sort of game weeks again.
And he's still doing well though.
I think so. I mean, Nightmare told me this a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, he's got to be still doing pretty well. To say hello to FPL Punk there, Lee. It's just come in the chat. It was on a couple of weeks ago. I hope you're well, mate. Yeah. So anyway, that's our guest this week. Assuming that Nathan actually replies because he's a little bit. He'll reply. Sometimes I'll message him on X and he'll reply in like 2 minutes, and then sometimes it takes him a month.
What do you mean? Do you mean you've asked him, but he hasn't said yes?
No, he said yes. It's in his diary. I'm just hoping he's remembered.
I haven't seen him on anything else apart from his own little thing that he does.
No. Well, you know, I get them all on Trig. I get them all.
And how's Lynn doing? Is she still doing well? Have you got her in? Like, is she in the PubCast League or anything?
Well, we could have a look. She is in the PubCast League, yeah.
Because she was doing really, really well, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's on in a couple of weeks, I think.
You should put her in the Wee Presenter League.
Where is the overall PubCast League?
The card calls isn't doing very well, is it? Or is that your actual team, Darius?
No, the which one? Sorry, where?
The one at the bottom there.
Still
the card called.
Still 18,000 in the world, so pretty good, yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
That's really good.
But look, you can see how well people are doing our PubCast League. He's only 7th in our PubCast League. Top is 50 Shades of Andy Gray at one.
Who's that?
I have no idea. But he's 1,600 and.
How many points has he got?
He's got 576.
He obviously doesn't listen to us, does he?
Well, shut up, Greg. He watches every week for the great insights and
does the opposite.
Exactly, yeah. Right. Let's get out of it, lads. Let's get out of it. Thank you everyone for watching, and please join us on the podcast at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, and if you can't, please join us at 7:30 next Saturday. See you everyone.
And check out our channels.
Gary
doesn't want you checking our channels out. He wants you on his own.